All right, good morning, everybody. How we doing? Matt here with OddsJam, and let's chat about some NBA player props that I have for today. So, of course, hopping on the OddsJam positive EV page and locking in all of these player props. Using OddsJam enables you to get an edge over the sports books that you're placing the bet with, which is incredibly important if you want to be a profitable sports bettor. Need to have some sort of edge over the sports books. Some people find that edge like creating their own statistical models and like algorithms and stuff, which is definitely an option, but it's difficult to outsmart the sports books and predict scores better than them. So what OddsJam does is, instead of trying to be smarter than every single sports book, is instead just kind of let the sports books work against each other, essentially. And I'll explain that, but it's just important to understand that if you want to actually make money doing this kind of stuff, you need to have some sort of edge, is all. So the first play that we're going to go ahead and lock in here is this Quentin Grimes over 3.5 rebounds. And then I'll kind of use this to explain the process behind everything. But I know that this is the play because it's bolded and it has the blue little rectangle around it. So every single play that is a positive EV is going to have the bold and the blue rectangle around it. So everything is kind of derived from these numbers you see here, labeled under the no vig odds column. And I'll get into in a second why I'm not locking in these first three. Starting with this Quentin Grimes one. So you see the odds here, minus 122.77. We can round that up to minus 123. So this is important to understand because this is kind of where all of the profitability and stuff comes from. So the way it works is OddsJam backtested thousands and thousands of betting opportunities to determine what sportsbooks are consistently the best, consistently the sharpest at pricing odds. So as you can see, like if I pull up the odds here, we see odds ranging from minus 120 up to minus 157, literally a 37-cent difference. And it's the same exact play. Like there's no difference in the play itself, right? You're either winning or losing. He's either going over or under, and we're getting a 37-cent difference. So with that in mind, about how big of a gap there is, one of these books has to be right and one of them has to be wrong. It doesn't make sense that they can be that far apart and both accurately reflect what this market should be priced at, right? They both can be an accurate reflection of this Quentin Grimes over rebounds market. So with that in mind, some sportsbooks are historically and consistently over the course of time better than others at pricing odds, right? Some just do it better than others. So that's kind of where these no vig odds come from, and what I mean when I say that OddsJam backtested thousands and thousands of betting opportunities, right? They went back, tested all these different historical betting opportunities and said, okay, these 5, whatever, are consistently the best at pricing odds. So instead of trying to price odds better than the sports books, we're just going to find out what sports books are consistently the best, and then we're going to use them to set the market moving forward. So to think of things from like a holistic view, these 5, whatever, like I said, it's not actually the number, just to have a blank number. 5 sportsbooks are consistently the best at pricing odds. So OddsJam collects that data, takes odds from those 5 sportsbooks, and uses a weighted average to calculate the no vig line that we see here. So this number can be viewed as the true line of what a sportsbook should truly be priced at. So if you can get more favorable odds, and more favorable just means like higher payout, right? Better for the sports bettor, then that's going to be profitable in the long term. Not saying you're going to win every single day or profit every single day, win every single bet, profit every single day, week, month. But over the course of time, this is something that will be profitable. So the play here, to go back, Quentin Grimes over 3.5 rebounds. And then what you want to do, and I kind of hinted at this at the beginning, is you want to compare the odds of the bet you're placing, which in this case is the Bet Rivers one at minus 120. Compare that to every other book and where they price odds at. So Pinnacle, and you want to start with the sharp ones. Let me say that. Pinnacle is the sharpest sports book, so they're giving the heaviest weight. They price this all the way at minus 153, so like 33 cents higher than the Bet Rivers line. Bet Online is another sharp sports book, prices this 25 cents higher at minus 145. And then across the board, 2 books are close, PointsBet and FanDuel, each at minus 130. But kind of across the board, we see minus 145 up to minus 157. So this minus 120 is a pretty clear outlier compared to every other book, which is why it's a profitable betting opportunity. And this is going to be play number 1, Quentin Grimes over 3.5 rebounds. Play number 2, same sports book. We're looking at Bet Rivers, Bam Adebayo under 2.5 assists. So this is at minus 112 odds at Bet Rivers. OddsJam perfect line prices it just below minus 114 just below minus 114. We can round up to that number. So again, the gap between these two numbers, that's where your profitability comes from. The minus 112 at Bet Rivers, let's compare it to every other sports book. So again, 2 books are kind of close, PointsBet and FanDuel at minus 115 and minus 122, but Pinnacle at minus 148, the most favorable outcome in terms of how they're pricing it at minus 148. Bet Online at minus 133, DraftKings at minus 130. Then we see like minus 145, minus 145, minus 143. So again, this minus 112 at Bet Rivers is clearly an outlier when you compare it to the rest of the betting markets. And that's something that you want to make sure that you are betting with every single positive EV play. So like the reason why I didn't lock in these first 3 was because I didn't deem them big enough outliers to lock in, right? Like I want to be a little more selective to try and mitigate the variance. So try to limit the number of down days by being a little bit more selective in placing the best of the best. So the second one is Bam under 2.5 assists. And the third one and the final one for this video, a little bit of a lighter slate today in terms of the amount of player props available. So didn't want to just force something for the sake of having it. Wanted to make sure I still locked in, good plays. So the last one is going to be this Kawhi Leonard over 4.5 assists, plus 112 odds at FanDuel. OddsJam perfect line prices this at about plus 110.5. A little bit smaller market width here, which is this number on the far right is giving you market width. This just kind of is an easy way to calculate the juice being charged on this market. Lower numbers equals better, essentially equals less juice. So 30 is pretty low compared to the other ones we were locking in, 37, 39. Not saying that those are now bad, but just that the 30 cents is pretty low, specifically for a player prop. So looking at the rest of the books, again, 2 books kind of close. PointsBet at plus 105, Caesars at plus 100. But outside of that, pretty much across the board. Minus 111, minus 105 at Bet Online. The minus 111 was Pinnacle. DraftKings at minus 110. And then pretty much across the board in the single digits, like minus 100s or minus 110, minus 115, something like that. So all in all, this plus 112 at FanDuel is a pretty good outlier compared to every other book, which is why that I think this is definitely one that I recommend locking in. So this will be my third and final pick for this video. So if you guys are tailing these 3 picks, comment and let me know. You can hit me up in the comments. Other than that, would appreciate if you could like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. All that good stuff helps me out a ton. But that's all I got for this video. So appreciate everybody watching and have a good one.